Welcome to Laurie Maves Art. Welcome to another edition of Laurie Maves Art, live in the studio. I'm not painting today. I'm just getting back into the swing of things. I have been gone for almost 2 months. I went to Italy back in the end of April and prepared and led a women's high art therapy in process. Thanks for joining. I love art therapy. I was just saying that I went to Sardinia and led a pilot program of a women's retreat that was not exactly as I had planned it, but it turned out to be a really wonderful experience for me. It was a wonderful learning experience for me. We had a wonderful partnership with Daniela Maloney, who is the proprietor. I'm so used to speaking Italian. She's the owner. La proprietario, la proprietaria of Lamolo House, which is located in Cabras, Sardinia. So that was the base of the 10-day women's retreat that I led. Basically, I kind of co-led it with Daniela, and we did a lot of slow travel, even though it felt like a lot of days weren't so slow. We did pack a lot of things in, from going to visit the ancient site of Tharos. We went to a farm and we met with this great farmer. This guy's got a brilliant story. His name is Andrea, and he's raising this ancient breed of Sardinian cattle. We went to some villages. We went to the seaside town of Boza and Boza Marina, and we walked on some green tufa. We went to a couple of nuragis, which are these 3,000-year-old structures that no one really knows much about. You just find these structures on the island of Sardinia and on the island of Corsica. And all in all, I'm really glad I did it. It was exhausting, but it was a wonderful life learning experience. After Sardinia, I met my husband over in the mainland Italy, and we went to Abruzzo for 3 weeks. And I am absolutely in love with Abruzzo. I don't even want to talk about how much I love Abruzzo, because I feel it's the best place I've ever been in the whole entire country of Italy. And I have been to Italy many times, maybe 15, 16 times in the last 15 years. And we've been everywhere, from the south, Sicily, Puglia, Calabria, Lazio, Umbria, Tuscany. I haven't really been to Marche Molise, or we hadn't spent much time in Abruzzo, Emilia Romagna. I've been to Veneto. I've been to the Dolomites. I haven't been much over by Piemonte. But anyway, Abruzzo was killer, and I can't wait to go back. Slightly out of focus. Thanks for joining. And we will be returning there next year. It's one of those things that when we're not in Italy, my husband grew up in Venice, Italy, but his paternal grandparents are from the region of Abruzzo. So if you happen to know much about Abruzzo, or you'd want to learn about Abruzzo, I'm looking at joining some Facebook groups or something about that. But I think that's something we don't necessarily want to join, like a expat community. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we're going to be going to Italy to assimilate and be and live like Italians, as my husband lived as an Italian, as he is Italian, as he grew up. So I'm going to be working very hard the next year on bettering my language skills. And we met the most beautiful family in Mozzagrogna, Abruzzo, and we're going to go back and stay with them. I have a wonderful referral if you're looking for a place to stay that's about 15, 20 minutes from the sea. It's on a small forest. Hey, it's on a small farmette. And so if you have any interest in staying on a small farmette as part of an Airbnb experience, this family is completely wonderful. They have chickens, and not loud roosters. They have chickens. They have a parakeet. They have a cage of like 20 parakeets. They have turtles. They have a dog named Fido, who is wonderful. They have over 100 olive trees. Oh, thanks, buddy. My son joined. Have a sweet mom moment. So maybe Forrest will come with us to Abruzzo next year and stay in Mozzagrogna with Lena and Rodolfo. What I loved about staying with them, they don't speak much English. They're an older couple. He's in his 80s and she's late 70s. Her mother lived to be 107. Her mother just passed away this last year. Her mother walked the stairs in this house 5, 6, 7 times a day to go upstairs, to go downstairs. She was washing dishes. She was going to the winery. She was so active until 107. I am so sad and so sorry I didn't get to meet this woman. But this is where we are going to return in Abruzzo because there's something very special about that place. So if you'd like more information about that, you can send me a private message. Number 1. Number 2, I have 3 paintings on the wall. This one, which is called Summer Garden. This one, which was part of a 8 or 9 series from 2020. And there's one other blue painting back there on their wall. So these paintings have been around for 5, 6 years, 4, 5, 6 years. And after a painting hasn't sold for that amount of time, I kind of put them up for offer. If anybody wants to make a bid on them, or if you want me to send them to you at a discounted rate, we can talk about that. Otherwise, they're gonna all 3 of these are gonna undergo a massive overhaul here in the next couple of months over the summer. It is so hot here in South Florida. I don't know what's going on. There's like a heat wave all over the planet, and it's just too hot to really do anything outside. So I will be inside painting, and hopefully I'll be doing some of those live stream paintings where I'm painting shapes and counting. And if you want to join me, it's kind of a fun meditative process. Okay, to keep moving, this was the sketchbook that I took with me to Sardinia, and I had done a number of projects in here. I did a 30-day, what was that? I did a 30-day something. Oh, I had 30-day prompts. So those are all in here. I love this one. That was back from May 6th, almost near the end of the tour. But when I got back, I was watching, okay, Forrest just explained to me that it's a great El Nino year. So that's the heat wave. It is what it is. So I have been watching on Substack the art by, I think it's art by Ms. Katie. Her work is fabulous. I love her portraiture work. I've been watching it for the last year. I saw today she posted some figurative work, and I just love her work. And I have painted many, many portraits in my life, but I haven't done them lately. I did some in Sardinia as part of this pop-up show, which was kind of fun. So she has, and other people on Substack have inspired me to do, I'm not going to do a challenge. I'm not going to put pressure on myself because I'm tired of doing that, because I do that to myself all the time. As evidenced by the retreat, I put a lot of pressure on myself for that Sardinian retreat. And it also taught me that I need to, I can set high expectations, but then sometimes you just have to let stuff go. So this is not a challenge or anything like that. But I have been inspired to do these portraits about, that's the summer love poem portraits. So I'm taking pages out of this really old love poems book. God knows when I got this. I feel like I got this back in Colorado maybe 20 years ago. And you can see like half of the pages have been already used for other projects. But I'm taking out a page at a time, I'm collaging it down, and then I'm putting a woman on top of it. There might be some men. I'm not opposed to making men. It's just women are more natural. And I've put these on Substack, and I put them on my Instagram page. And I've used this app, and I've blown them way up so they're like 5 foot by 5 foot. I think they would make stunning, very interesting, large scale portraiture. So that's my summer love letters series. Keep watching for that. Maybe you want to put a suggestion in. Maybe you say, Laurie, I'd like to see someone with red hair. Laurie, I'd like to see someone with curly hair. I think this is so fascinating that I'm not going to talk about that. But anyway, if there's a certain kind of portrait that you'd like to see, Picasso inspired or otherwise, send me a message. Thirdly, if you haven't read this book, Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, I highly, highly recommend it. I read this book. Well, I started to read this book. It's like I can't let it go. I'm like halfway through. And it really talks about, it's a follow-up to The Power of Now. And if you have issues with negative thinking, if you have issues with looping thinking, if you have issues with thinking in general, when your mind causes majority of our problems, our minds cause our negative self-talk, our minds cause us problems with other relationships, with other people. Our minds put all these expectations, these thoughts on us. Read this book. It'll talk to you a lot about how to get out of a cycle, things you can do to calm your mind, and the importance of meditation. And the importance of meditation is to train your brain, to train your mind to realize when your thoughts are looping, or when you're going into some rabbit hole, or when you're starting to have thoughts about your life or about your relationship or about things that are just thoughts. They're just thoughts. They pop in and out of your head. And the more you read about this stuff, our thoughts many times are not our own. They come and they go. But the thoughts that we give attention to, good, bad, ugly, and different, those thoughts that we give attention to really end up affecting our lives. My husband told me this story this last week, or it was like a couple weeks ago, of I think an ex-hockey player that committed suicide. A very famous hockey player. Now I can't remember his name. And isn't that sad that he couldn't get out of here? One of the greatest mentors of my life, Noel Cunningham. I knew him in Denver, Colorado. He took me to Ethiopia. His wife was one of my best friends. They were both great mentors to me in very different ways. Noel Cunningham did the same thing, ended his life early, back in 2011. People, if you're struggling with your mental health in any way, shape, or form, I'm not here to tell you what to do about it. But I will tell you that if you start developing a meditation practice, I don't care how good it is, I don't care how bad it is, it's a practice. You learn how to do it. You learn how to do it by sitting quietly and noticing your thoughts. You don't have to stop them. You don't have to do anything with them. But once you learn to notice the fact that you're thinking, in that special moment, you can actually then redirect your thinking. You can use a mantra. You can use some positive thinking. You can stop those negative thoughts in your brain if you learn how to train it. Please read this book. You can read The Power of Now, which comes before this book. But if you, I have all these wonderful sections. Marcella wants to come in. Come on, buddy. I know it's hot out there. I can't believe you with that jacket. Can you even stand to be out there? Oh, look at my kids. Power of Now. That was that was almost 20 years ago. This is one thing about there's a section about parenting in here, which is interesting. Of course, it's not on anymore, but recognizing your child. You are a human being. What does that mean? Mastery of life is not a question of control, but of finding a balance between human and being. Mother, father, husband, wife, young, old, the roles you play, the functions you fulfill, whatever you do, all that belongs to the human dimension. It has its place and needs to be honored, but in itself, it is not enough for a fulfilled, truly meaningful relationship or life. Human alone is never enough, no matter how hard you try or what you achieve. Then there is being. It is found in the still, alert presence of the consciousness itself, the consciousness that you are. Human is form. Being is formless. Human and being are not separate, but interwoven. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining. I was reading an excerpt from this book. So the more you can really wrap your brain around that your beingness is just having to inhabit this body that you're walking around in, that you're running around in, that you're sitting in, that you're sleeping in. It's just your body that's carrying you around. And your being is interwoven with that, but it's separate. So learn, get on the training your brain, friends. It'll help you discern the news. It'll help you discern gossip. It'll help you discern when things are going positively or negatively or causing you anxiety. It's when you can discern what's going on in this space. It's really, really important. It's helped me a lot. It's helped me a lot. And my favorite new phrase, which was either from this book or from Michael Singer's Living Life Untethered, is everything always works out for me. 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 I've been saying that recently as my mantra. Whenever I notice that I'm getting nervous, I'm getting angry, I'm getting anxious, I'm getting sad, I'm getting regretful. If I'm feeling a negative emotion starting to build in me and I can be conscious enough to recognize it, I stop it and I start saying that everything always works out for me. I was driving home today from downtown Sarasota and there was a bit of traffic. And I was starting to get a little nervous and I got these paintings back, and I never like getting paintings back from a show because that means that they didn't sell. So I always feel that I have this burden of finding them a home. And not that I get overly upset about that, but my mind just starts to wander, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with these paintings? And then all of a sudden I just realized that I was doing that. And it popped into my mind, everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. And I swear to you, I've been saying that to myself in the middle of the night when my mind ruminates and I can't think about anything else. I say that and it puts me to sleep. Okay, one more thing, or one last thing. Is that all? I talked about my sketchbook, the new project, the new portraits in here. I talked about Eckhart Tolle. I talked about paintings, and I talked about Sardinia. That's probably enough for now. Leave me a message. Leave me some notes. Let me see if you have any ideas about these paintings. If you're interested in any one of them, they're on my website. I'll make you a sweet deal. If you want me to ship them within the U.S., they will come off of the stretcher boards and I will ship them to you in a tube. That's all I have for you, friends. I have missed being on Substack Live, and I've missed the interaction with people here. And I'm so excited tonight, and this is why I'm coming to you last minute, is because I was scheduled for jury duty tomorrow, which I was actually looking forward to. I had gotten myself to that point of like, okay, I'm ready for it. I started parked myself a lunch. I got myself, I'm taking some Italian books with me. I have my little bag all packed to go sit for 8 hours at the Manatee County Civic Hall or whatever that's called. And then I didn't have to go. But anyway, I was looking forward to it. Okay, kids. Thank you very much. Anna, thank you. Forrest. Slightly out of focus, art therapy in process. Thank you guys all for joining in. I appreciate it very much. Have a great day.